Hi, guys. Welcome to this week's episode of Zygote at Home, our video series featuring Zygote's instructors, member artists, staff, and friends. And this week, one of Zygote's instructor artists, Bob Herbst, will demonstrate a project he's been working on at home during quarantine using the cyanotype process. Cyanotypes are also sometimes called sunprints because you use the sun to create your prints. Cyan is just a fancy name for a color that's kind of bluish, and a cyanotype is a photographic printing process that makes a cyan blue print. People used to use this process well into the 20th centuries to make simple low cost copies, and they were called blueprints. And if you're old as I am, you probably remember what blueprints are. But to make these cyanotypes, basically what you do is you treat a piece of paper or a piece of fabric with photosensitive chemicals. Then you place objects on top of that piece of photosensitive paper and you expose it to the sun for a period of time to make the print. Now, it's hard to kind of explain, so let's go to Bob's home studio and his backyard to see how he is creating cyanotypes, and afterwards, we'll make our very own sunprints using a sunprint kit. So, take it away, Bob. For this week's project, you need to purchase one of these. It's called a solar print paper kit. They're also called Sunprint kits. You can find them online. You can get them via Amazon. You can get them all over the place. So they're not too expensive, and it comes with everything you need inside. This is Felix. He is not required for this project. But he is pointing out the thing that we are going to use for the project, which is all of these beautiful things collected from nature, leaves, flowers, plant specimens, whatever you want. And then I'm also going to use some bugs because bugs are cool. And all of these plants were donated to us by the Radical Plant Mom. You can find her on Instagram. She made this pin too, the Radical Plant Mom, who is local here in Cleveland, doing, excuse me, sir, awesome planty things. So, to get started, you want to go ahead and you take the paper out of the container. And the paper, as you see, comes in a black bag because as soon as we open this, the paper is going to start exposing. So you kind of have to work quickly to get this outside. So what you're going to do first is I'm going to lay down some pieces of paper onto this little baking sheet, and then I'm going to arrange the things on top of it into cool little patterns or whatever I want. And then we're going to take it outside and see if the sun will make some sun prints for us. So I'm going to put these together and I'll be right back. So as you can see, I laid out all of my pieces of paper and they go blue side up, and then you arrange whatever you want just onto the little things. And then because it's windy outside, I'm going to put a piece of glass down on top of it that I just took out of a picture frame to hold everything down so the wind doesn't blow it away. Okay, I'm gonna take this outside. Here we go. I'm in my backyard now, and as you can see, I have these laid out on the baking sheet with glass over top so that they don't blow away. And it's kind of nice out. I mean, it's partly cloudy, but it just means they're gonna have to sit out here long enough. So I will come and check back in a little bit. I moved them into the direct sunlight, and as you can see, the paper has now turned white. No longer blue. The sun is doing its thing. I brought them inside. I think they're about done now. It's time for the big reveal. So I'm going to take the stuff off. Ooh. Ooh. And you can see that where the plants were, there's now a blue spot. That's the process happening. And to make it stop, because if you don't stop the process, they'll just turn completely white. So we're going to go rinse these with just some cold water in the sink, and then I'm going to lay them flat to dry. So they've been rinsed with water, and now they are drying on a drying rack. And you can see we have our sun prints. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to let them dry all the way, and then we'll check back. Through the magic of technology, it is now a little bit later, and unfortunately 2 of them didn't turn out very good, but 2 of them did turn out great. So you can see it when they dry, the colors invert again. So what was blue when I took them off is now white, and the background of the paper is now blue. So you can see these 2 turned out pretty cool. And honestly, I only let them expose about 5 or 6 minutes total. And that's because today was partially cloudy, but really you only need to let them expose until the paper turns white. Once the paper is turned white, then they're pretty much finished. You can bring them inside, rinse them off, and see what you have come up with. So I took our finished sun prints. Well, I took my favorite one and I put it in a frame. Doesn't that look nice? Can you see that? Yeah, so you can hang that up on the wall. Looks very nice. So you don't have to use just plants. You can use objects like keys or nails, screws, anything that leaves a nice shape. It's all about your creativity. So I'm gonna go put this on my wall. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Zygote at Home. If you like these videos and you want to help support Zygote during this difficult time, please click on the link to donate. It's down there in the description below the video. These funds will go to ensure that Zygote can continue our mission to share the love of printmaking. See you next week. Bye.